All right, we're live.
All right.
Here it is.
All right.
Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday.
Happy Fat Tuesday.
Fat Tuesday.
How did you guys enjoy your Fat Tuesday, by the way?
We had a little bit of king cake.
Yeah.
Thank you, Scott.
Some sandwiches.
Muffs.
Muffs.
Some muffaladas. What sandwiches?
No baby yet, though.
Muffaladas. We're looking for the baby and the king cake. We haven't found them yet.
Luke's looking.
No.
He wants to buy next year.
I'd make it next year if I had it.
I was thinking I should have made one today to take to work. Nice to get everyone over in the IT office.
Good idea. Good idea.
Maybe I'll make when I get home for tomorrow. We'll celebrate a day late. Ash Wednesday, Fat Tuesday. It's the same thing.
Well, I guess I'll welcome everyone to our EQOA conversation. I'm your host, Scott. I'm joined here with my co-hosts, Marcus and Luke. I guess they don't know that they're co-hosts, but they are now. It's just impromptu conversation. We're enjoying some king cake here. We're going to chat about EQA, reminisce a little bit, see what develops. Let's go from there. Speaking of classes earlier, I thought about the Bard class.
Spoony Bards.
So they were a support class, of course. Because what did they actually do?
I was exactly what I was thinking. I couldn't figure that out.
They're supposed to be a damage dealing class.
Well, they sing songs or play guitar or something.
Yeah, they would play music that would make you attack faster or run faster or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Did it actually run faster?
There was one for a speed boost. I don't remember exactly how much, or it wasn't permanent like Sal was. Until
Really?
Yeah. I do remember something like that. If I remember right.
Would you go as fast as some?
I think so.
Was it just for bards?
I don't know.
Was it a song they sang to themselves?
I don't know. I don't.
Like they made their own theme music. That's what bards did.
Dun, dun, dun.
I don't remember.
I just remember some weird speed thing. Because you could either have a druid, a shaman, or if you had a bard, you could move faster. So, but it was very, very limited time-wise. And maybe I'm completely off base and thinking of a different game.
It might have just been like an ability, like not like Avatar, but similar to that, where you could either get it from a druid, a shaman, or a bard who provided that buff as well, and they didn't overlap. Did buffs overlap in WoW? Or no WoW? EQOA?
I haven't heard the word buffs in years.
Buffs did not, like, you couldn't get the same buff multiple times. So Sal from a druid did not stack with
Right.
Sal from a shaman.
So I'm wondering if that knew what it was. I'm not sure. I just don't recall.
I don't remember. But I don't remember how good their damage was.
I don't think it was good at all.
But I do remember they were really nice to have because they had a mana booster also.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
They were mana batteries.
Yes.
Mana battery. Wow.
Yeah. Because it was always nice to have a bard or an enchanter in the group.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, my druid didn't do a lot of, like, mana wasn't an issue for her. But it was fun.
I always like to have an enchanter as the alchemist because I used mana to throw my potions. That was an interesting class too. Alchemists.
Maybe we should reminisce about who our characters were.
I suppose it might not be a terrible idea.
Or tunes. I guess. I never liked that word, tunes. I thought it was always kind of stupid. Well, I'll start. My main character, maybe I had two. I remember playing on Hodstock. I think this is where I did most of my playing, and I had a troll warrior named Imperator. That was named after a Star Wars ship. And then I had a troll shaman named Everlong. And that Everlong was just a real troll. I was a real troll.
Before trolling was,
Scott
was a troll.
It was pretty bad. So that was my main character, a troll shaman. And I was really limited in my knowledge because that's all I ever really did. I know you guys had some different classes or races and such, but I did all of my work on Hodstock. excuse me, that's pretty much all I ever had. I didn't even start any alts, but I got Everlong up to whatever the max level was. I don't remember.
60? I think it was 60. They might have been higher after that, but I only remember 60 in Frontiers.
I think that's how high it was.
What did your shaman do? 'Cause I don't really remember grouping with you to do anything serious.
No, I don't think.
But how many times have we been trained by Scott?
Yeah.
Too many times. Yeah. So.
Hail Everlong! Quick, everybody invis up. Here we come.
Oh man.
Booty trained.
So that was it. I
I
learned really quick how to train people. My first train was in the Knoll Cave.
Well, that was just part of the Knoll Cave.
It was
Yeah.
part of the Knoll Cave. Yeah, it was. But that was, I remember we were grouped up with whomever, and we're just rolling out of there, getting chased by 100 mobs that are, you know how it goes. You pull one thing, you pull the whole cave.
Right.
And we get chased out of there, and people are dying. And I'm racing my way out, and I got the whole Knoll Cave in tow. And right when I get to the mouth of the cave, they finish me off. But as we got to the mouth, as I got there at least, there was another group like pulling. They were pulling a couple guards, and when I got there, they got everyone else. Everyone else went along with them, and then they wiped. But that was it. I got hooked instantly. It was the start of a train relationship. I don't remember what I was CM'd in. I don't really remember what CMs were.
Class mastery points?
Okay.
I don't
Yeah.
think you had one.
I don't even know. I have no idea. I think I specialized or focused in more healing than anything. I don't know if that was.
Well, they were a
thing.
healing class, but
Yeah, but you could go in certain routes.
I remember like watching Scott play as Sean, like actually try and play. And he would be like reading a book, watching a movie, and healing at the same. Well, that's what healing was in EQOA.
Oh yeah.
It was It looked like it was a lot of fun.
It was super hands off. I was recruited a few times to just lead a pet group at Elephant Graveyard, and those other guys they'd just go to sleep and I'd stay up. Looking back, it was kind of ridiculous. But all you had to do was heal the pets, and they would just pull 3 eyes or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So So isn't that what they were?
That's
they were
exactly
eyes,
what
but there's a. Who did I say it?
You said it.
I like eyes, and if you say it fast enough, it comes out. I like guys.
Well, by the way, Luke does like Guy.
No.
That'll be our introduction. Luke, who did you have for characters?
I had my druid, Frail. She was a immortal. And then I had my rogue, who was that unhappy.
That was unhappy.
I think that was.
Oh,
I think that was his name. But
Yep.
the best part about that was when one of the first Dark Elf quests was you talked to the Spirit Master or somebody, and they said, "Are you unhappy?" And your choices were, "Of course I'm unhappy," or something else.
Right.
It fit very well, and it's better than the other name that I had for my Dark Elf. So
What was the other name?
Vicarious.
So Luke does like guys.
Yeah.
No.
Just
No.
No, it turns out he was more curious.
Okay.
And then I also had a mage, but I don't remember if the mage ever made it to the end. Can't remember. I think I did because I think I had the air pet.
It was a human mage?
I don't remember what his name was. Not the same name as my WoW mage. So,
No, it wasn't full lane.
yeah, it was something else. But either way,
I remember that.
so I had 3 higher end characters. He was an arrowmancer. My rogue was a assassin.
Mm-hmm.
I just remember the green poison dart ability because it was just a lot of fun to cast it from really crazy distances. Because it had like a 60 range or
ridiculously
something.
large long range.
You could pull bosses with it. Because I remember pulling What was the lady at the top of the Kappa Tower?
Kappa.
Oh, Kappas. Oh,
The zone was named after her.
yeah.
She's like a weird snake thing, if I remember right.
Yep.
A naga.
And you
thing.
couldn't get close to her.
No, because she had a really crazy poison thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because I remember Kyle couldn't run in there.
Yep. So we just killed her from a distance.
Yeah, it was me.
Yep. That was fun.
Never got there.
I had a couple of other alts, but none of them really amounted to anything. Always wanted to try a wizard, but never got into it. So I had a couple of guys. As soon as I said it, bad choice of words.
It was Grant was the person that caught the I like eyes thing.
Yes.
And of course he was the one that gave me grief for it.
Yes. Who couldn't make it past level 30 because the game was too boring for him.
I thought he played more than that. Seems like he played more than that.
It does seem
he
like
was
he
on
played
a
more
lot,
than
but EQOA became
Social media.
social media before social media existed.
That's probably what it ended up being for me more than anything.
Well, it's ended up being that for a lot of people.
Especially at the end. Yeah, because you couldn't find groups.
Well, you could, but I just didn't really care to. I didn't want to take the time. So instead, I'd sit in Freeport or High Pass for 3 hours a night and just chat,
That was a big thing.
Yeah.
Marcus, tell us a little bit about your characters.
Well, I guess I had Evelyn, who was a gnome alchemist who went the racial class mastery of Tinker, because I wanted the pet.
I remember when you got that name.
Evelyn, yes.
You were really
I
excited.
was psyched because I always enjoyed, normal kind of names.
Yeah, that was a good one.
And then I had Cry before that, who was a Dark Elf warrior that I didn't play much. I played her in the regular game, but as soon as Frontiers came out, all my friends left me because I rolled a new character and I rolled the Alchemist. The day Frontiers came out.
Oh, what? All your friends left you?
Well, everyone kept playing. You might have re-rolled too.
Oh yeah, I did.
But everyone else went from 50 to 60, and then I re-rolled.
Oh,
Because I never got Cry to 60. If I did, it was right at the end of the game.
Re-rolled. I don't remember that term. Re-rolled.
Yeah. Because I remember playing in every group I was in, they were like, "Oh, we've never grouped with an alchemist before."
Oh,
So I just told them I was done, but I had to get
especially with how you played that character too, because most people never would have played it that way.
Well, it was interesting. I don't want to say there was any theory crafting on my part, but it was I read a lot of forums on how to play them, and put my own little twist on it. But of course, you had to have the turbo controller to make your potions at night while you slept. I had to go out and buy a Mad Catz turbo controller.
I remember
Mad Catz.
You
for
find
sure.
this character standing in the middle of the did
Bottle by water. I
All
would
the time.
sit in bottle by water, so I couldn't get in trouble. I wanted someplace. Oh, and then I would do it in Freeport, but I was actually at my computer, not my computer, but I was actually at the PS2 when I was doing that.
Did you ever get in trouble for that?
I never did.
Oh.
I'd go overnight sometimes, but I'd always go to bottle by water. And I'd sit in a little hut, kind of down by the Crocs there. It wasn't near the Crocs; it was far enough away. And I'd make 999 potions. I'd do that while I went to college or whatever.
That's right.
Yeah, that was at that time.
It was end of high school, early college.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that for a second. What's your earliest memory of EQOA?
Earliest or best?
No, earliest. I'm wondering, and we can get to the best in a second, but I'm thinking Kyle and I, this is the first time I remember it, drove down to Best Buy, and he bought the the EQOA.
We're gonna have to edit all this WoW stuff out.
Yeah. He got the EQOA disc, the PlayStation 2 disc, and then I think the book, just the first book, because it was just the vanilla version. Almost not right when it came out, maybe a month or two later. But we got that. I remember reading through the book on the way back. Then we installed it when we got up to home. And that was the first time I remember it. What do you guys...
On dial-up.
On dial-up?
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. That's the first thing I remember.
I remember watching. I think it was you play down at your house in the Crescent.
I think so.
I think that was the first time on the taco couch.
Yeah.
I think that's the first time I remember seeing the game. And my parents' internet wasn't the greatest for playing online games, so I remember it was always a thing trying to find time to play, because you were limited to how long you could be connected at a time.
Right.
And then you were limited to a certain number of hours each month, and I know I went over top of the number of hours multiple times. My dad got angry.
Is that the whole internet provider? It could be like 50 hours or something.
You could do, I think it was limited to 150 hours a month.
On the internet?
Yep, which is less than 3 hours a day.
Well, back then.
Yeah. And when you're trying to download anything that takes 5 hours to download, well, you're kind of stuck.
Yeah.
So that was back before you had streaming and all that stuff even really existed. You had Napster. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Crescent House. Just quickly, I apologize, because I remember I had, when we moved into that house on Willow Street, or even before that. Well, kind of before that, I had a router, but I only had one Ethernet cable. So it was just like everyone came over and watched me play. But then after that, we got a router and we ran 3 50-foot cables so we could all come over and play.
Well, and I remember going over to Kyle's house and he'd be dual boxing.
Kyle's
in
house.
Kyle's
apartment. In
This was
lacrosse.
later.
Oh, yeah.
And then you and I would go over there and then we'd 4-box.
Before,
Gross.
Yep. That wasn't gross, man. That was EQOA.
It was fun. Order a Topper's pizza. And
Yep.
play EQOA till 2-3 o'clock in the morning.
Then wake up at 4 in the morning and play some more.
Play
EQOA.
some more.
Oh, man.
My earliest memory of EQOA was, I remember me and Scott, or me and Luke, I apologize to whichever one this was because my memory's a little hazy. We had started playing Baldur's Gate for the Xbox, or something like that. Or Baldur's Gate, well, it wasn't even before that. There's Dark Alliance. It was on the PS2.
That's probably you and me.
I think it was you and me.
I played that with Kyle.
And I remember it was Scott who came up to me. And he had said something along the lines of, wouldn't it be great if there was an online game where you could play this with your friends? Ultimately, it was on the bus going to Luther.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that'd be perfect. And he's like, Kyle's got it.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I didn't know Kyle at this point. Or I barely knew Kyle.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of knew Kyle. Because that was sophomore year? No, it would have been bigger than that.
If you were still at Luther, it would have been
It would have been.
freshman
No.
or sophomore.
Because the game didn't come out till 2003. So we couldn't have been on the bus. Because I didn't go to Luther. Unless it was...
That sounds vaguely familiar. Maybe
Was it Friends Day? Didn't I go to Luther with you for Friends Day? You remember that? I went to Luther one day in senior year. Because I remember sitting in a science class and I didn't know the teacher. And I remember sitting in another class and I didn't know that teacher. It was like Shibboleth, because I never had Shibboleth. Sorry, this is way off topic, but because I remember him telling me about this game and it blowing my mind. It sounded like the best idea ever.
No, I don't. I vaguely remember that.
Yeah.
No,
And then I remember driving down there like the next day to Best Buy, buying the disc, buying the modem, and getting everything all set up. And it was glorious.
It was glorious. Kyle at the time was living in my house.
Correct.
Yes.
We were living there, and we were playing that upstairs.
I remember coming over and watching you guys play. Because I thought I was going to come over and play Crazy Taxi.
Boy, were you wrong.
I was wrong.
Crazy Taxi. Okay. And then were we always on Hodstock?
I think so. That's where I always played. I made a few alts on other servers, but they never
My
mounted.
very first character was a warrior on Castle Lightning named Calamity.
Oh, God.
who got to level 18 and I thought I was badass.
Castle Lightwolf.
You know?
Now, when the server started to die down, did people consolidate to one? Do you have
I
any
never
idea?
played. I think they did.
They did eventually, but that was after I quit.
When did you quit? Do you remember?
God, when did we start playing WoW the first time? 2005?
No.
2006?
We started playing WoW?
Because EQOA came out in 2003, and Frontiers came out like 6 months after
Right.
the originals came out.
Yep.
Yeah, it was pretty quick.
And then we played that for at least a year, so probably played for 2 years. So probably 2005 was when I quit.
That's so surprising. It feels like EQA lasted
Forever.
It did.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it was such a. I probably played WoW more than EQA for sure, but
It's like even now, knowing that I've spent, absolutely knowing I've spent more time playing WoW, I feel like I've spent more time in the EQA universe, and I don't know why.
I feel way more connected to it.
Yeah, definitely.
I agree. I have more lasting memories of
Mm-hmm.
EQA than WoW. Like WoW was just a thing to me.
Yeah, I never really. I guess there are a couple people that I knew from WoW, but with EQA, I can remember way more characters.
Mm-hmm.
I can remember way more conversations with people.
Well, I think the community was stronger.
Yeah, I think that was a big part of it.
We were all masochists.
Oh, we were.
There were just so many more people on WoW, so you kind of got lost. You couldn't really have conversation because you had regular chat, party chat, guild chat, trade chat,
Oh man,
Barons chat, blah blah blah. I mean,
Barons chat. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That you get lost in the conversations. You can't really have the meaningful conversations you could have had in EQA.
No, you couldn't. And
I mean, you could, but it is harder to do so.
Yeah. There are a couple names I think of. First one was Lucas had brought up. Luke, our co-host here. He brought the name JD Tool.
My nemesis.
Oh, that was yours. Sorry. Now that you say the word nemesis, we have to let's unpack this a little
He
bit.
wasn't really my nemesis.
Okay. He was your nemesis.
Let me throw out.
It wasn't a problem
I'm
until
going to
the very end.
speculate who he was and what he did. So we were in guilds on Hodstock. I can't remember which one Luke was in. I think it was probably the same one Marcus was in.
Yeah.
But
what was the name of it? I remember Mara was the leader of it. I remember her.
Mm-hmm.
What was it called?
The relationship I remember between the two of you is that both of you were the same class.
Yep.
Rogues or druids or something.
Both druids. The only two druids in the guild, as far as I'm aware.
Yep.
Okay.
And the only reason that was a big deal is because only druids and wizards could get the pieces to get the port to Plane of Sky.
Plane of Sky. Okay. So he was another. He was a druid.
Yep.
In your guild,
Yep.
and I seem to remember some drama about.
There's
some POS pieces.
Well, one POS piece, just one POS piece.
Oh, there was just one. I thought the two of you
So-
would compete for
Nope.
armor and weapons.
No,
and
the
things.
plan.
And Marva's
Mara's favor.
Oh.
No, so I was a guild elder.
Hey, by the way, if Mara, if you're out there listening,
She called us. You remember that?
I remember we called each other.
Yeah, see, I remember these
Yeah.
things.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that's how they're more of a closer community.
Yeah, we never had anything like that in any of the other
Right.
MMOs we played.
You went
No.
and visited people.
I did. We'll get to that in a second. That's some good story. But Mara, if you're out there, if you're listening, call in. Give us a call. We'll get you on the show. We'll reminisce a little bit. So tell us about this JD Tool. And that was his name,
JD Tool.
And if
The
he's
letter
out there,
J, JD Tool.
If he's out there,
You know what?
he's got a call.
You got
You gotta call.
Call him too. Let us know. But it was J, the letter J, the letter
Yep,
D, and then
Tool.
Tool. And what was he would fight you for?
No, there was the plan was because since I was a guild elder that I would get the pieces first for getting the port to Plane of Sky.
Yeah.
and then he would get them next because we had wizards, but they
weren't reliable.
Yeah, they weren't reliable. So it just made more sense for me to do it and to take it. And I think I had one of the pieces, or I had something that gave me a little bit of a head start, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't remember what all the pieces were, but I got all of them except for one that dropped off of the sea monster. I remember what its name was. It's some big kraken thing. And I had to go. I think it was a Wednesday night, and I probably had to play for church. Is what it was. So I couldn't make it to the raid. And I remember getting a call or something.
This was during Lent.
Yeah, this would be during Lent. So I remember getting a call or something afterwards saying, "Oh my God, the piece dropped and JD Tool has it."
You got a call?
I think you called me.
I remember being there and being like, "Oh my God, it dropped."
Yeah, what was the drop rate? This is like 0.5%.
I don't know if it was like.
Did it have a rate?
It wasn't every time. It wasn't 100% because I know we killed this thing before and it never dropped.
Right,
Okay.
and it was, of course, EQOA, world mobs. So when it's up, everyone's trying to rush out there and get it, which is part of the fun of the game.
Yep.
Right. There were no instances.
Right.
So then it was a whole thing trying to get JD Tool to give me the piece because it was the last piece we needed to be able to port to Planet Sky.
Oh, okay. Hold on. So you had all the other parts except for this last part.
Yep.
You were gone because
I had other commitments.
You had other commitments. JD Tool was there, and he was the only other person who could theoretically use them if you got all the other pieces.
Yep.
And then when you got back,
I hopped on after I got home.
and you were trying to convince him, or everyone was trying to convince him?
Everyone was trying to convince him to give me that piece, and he was being a pain in the butt.
Did he want you to give him all the pieces?
I couldn't because it was a quest line, so you would get a piece, turn it in, get a piece, turn it in, get a piece, turn it in. So he just happened to get this piece, and he was just going to hold on to it until he got that far in the chest or in the quest line.
Okay.
So
and that would have taken him who knows how long time.
Well, we would have had to redo all of the raids, and I don't remember who we all needed to get. And some of them weren't raid mobs. It was just random drops, if I remember.
I remember helping you on some of them.
Yeah, because I remember we 2-manned and 3-manned some of the stuff.
Right.
Or 4-man because we had
Scott was there.
Yeah, or five of us if it was
Group
Kyle.
5?
I don't remember. Was it 5 or was it just 4?
It was just 4.
Oh, no. I think it was 4 and then you. I don't know.
Well, if somebody knows the answer, call in.
Yeah, if someone out there knows the answer, call in, please. Let us know. We're doing this.
5.
I'm telling you, we're doing all this based on just the memory we have. We don't have any smartphones in front of us. We don't have any books. We don't have the Bible.
No, I wish I had the Bible.
I don't know where my Bible is.
I thought I knew where mine was, but
we don't have any of it. So we're just letting loose.
Yep.
So he wanted basically to get all the pieces together, and everyone's trying to get him
to give me that one piece.
So what happened?
Somehow we convinced him to, and then he got pissed and quit guild.
that's right.
Oh wow, that was a statement.
Yep.
To quit the guild.
Yep, quit the guild. Because we wouldn't let him have his way, even though going into it, I know somebody, I think Mara told me, or somebody told me that they had told him that if the piece drops, that it was going to go to me.
Uh-huh.
And that, and he said, yeah, whatever, and he was going to go along with it, and then he just wanted to keep it afterwards.
Did he ninja loot it?
I don't think so.
What? Okay.
I think somebody gave it to him to give to me.
Okay, look, this.
But I don't remember how that all went down.
This is retrospect, of course.
Of course.
But it sounds to me as if there are two primary guys who could use these pieces, and to give one guy this piece to hold on to, quote unquote, hold on to until the other guy could have it. There's a conflict of interest there.
Yep.
It'd be almost better to give it to the spoony bard, right?
What they should have done is just let whoever was the raid leader hold on to it and just give it to me when I came on. But either way, whatever. I got it. I got the Planet Skyport after that, and then we started trying to figure that raid out. And I know we finished the first tier, our first leg of it. I don't know how much farther we got.
I don't remember hardly anything. We did a little bit on Plain of Sky, but that was Very
I
little.
remember the maze. I remember there's some weird cave, and
I remember hitting the other side of that maze. That felt good.
I remember the boss on the first plane was some big chimera guy, if I remember right.
I think you're right.
And the group that it was you, me, and then I think Kyle and his shaman, and we actually got the kill for it because whoever did the most damage to it was the one that got to loot it, and our group got the loot for it and the XP for it. So I remember that.
CMs.
Yep. But I don't think I would have been on my rogue then, probably.
I think you were on your rogue, yeah.
Because. But how would I have gotten up there then? I don't know.
I think we went to Planet Sky, but we didn't go very far right away. And then we all kind of, we kept getting CMs and you re-rolled. And then we went back to Planet Sky after it wasn't like new content.
No, but
we got the port up there, and I don't think we did a whole lot.
I don't really remember. I remember doing it, but I don't remember
the order,
all the details.
Yeah. No, I think you were playing your rogue, and we made you hop on your druid and port us up there.
But it's just weird that Kyle would have had his tank and his healer in the group, and then I would have been on my healer too. So we would have had 2 healers in the group. That just seems weird.
True.
Unless he didn't bring his healer and it was just 2 damage dealers and me.
No, I feel like he would have brought his shaman.
I don't remember.
Kyle was the only one here that really dual boxed.
Maybe we should talk a little bit about Kyle. Kyle, from our stories.
If you're out there, call in.
Kyle, if you're out there, give us a call. Call him.
We miss you, buddy.
So, Kyle was the person in my story who I first went to Best Buy with to buy the disc and the book, and we started playing together at my house, and that's how I got involved in EQOA. But Kyle's been a childhood friend to the 3 of us for many years now. But he's not here, but he was the 4th in our little group of friends who played EQOA. There was maybe a couple other people here and there, but the 3 of us and then Kyle were the real core.
Mainstays.
Yeah, we did a lot of that. I don't remember what characters he really had. I think his girlfriend played a little bit.
So it's the shaman we keep talking about dual boxing.
Okay.
Yeah, he does end up dual boxing.
So he ended up dual boxing like a
Shadow Knight.
Yep.
A Shadow Knight and a shaman.
Because we needed more ARs.
Yep. Always needed more ARs.
Well, that was just it. If you had a duel a necromancer, ARs had to be through the roof.
Oh yeah, you needed all the ARs.
And if you duel
Crown of Thorns, I remember that had a lot of ARs.
And if you dueled a Shadow Knight, then you also needed ARs for their their net searing touch, whatever that ability was called, death touch or whatever it was. And my druid couldn't do enough damage to him to kill him, and that ability couldn't do enough damage to me to kill me. So we were just stuck in an endless duel.
Mm-hmm.
So neither one of us would win.
I don't know if I ever dueled Kyle.
I did once, and when he's like, okay, I'm gonna because it was just to try it and see, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna do my thing, and he's gonna do his thing, and then he tried to cast it on me, and it didn't kill me. It took me down to like 1/4 health, and then it was like, oh, well, you don't hit for dick otherwise, so okay, back at full health again, and that's on a half-hour cooldown, so yeah.
You guys do much dueling?
No.
I saw some. I never really dueled at all, but I saw some sneaky tricksters. They would run around as a 1 level, just a 1 level dude, and the name would be Phenopolis. Whatever, I made that up. Their name would be Phenopolis, and it was a human warrior, whatever it was, from Freeport. And this guy would go around taunting other characters in Freeport, offering to duel level 40, level 60, whatever levels they were.
And there was a wager system.
There was.
It was unique to EQOA, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing. Maybe it was in WoW. I don't know. But
I don't remember there being a wager system in WoW. You just duel and it would drop from the sky.
Yeah,
There was no wagers.
no. But this guy, or this these people, they'd have the lower level, maybe not even level 1, maybe level 15 or 20 or whatever it was, and they'd roll in there, taunt someone into dueling, and there'd be Phenopolis there, but there'd be another character, Phenopolis, spelled just slightly different.
Phenopolis with an A instead of an I at the end.
Perhaps, yeah. Yep. And that person was not to be trifled with. And that person would be...
That was like a level 60 necromancer with full anti-ARs or whatever they did.
And did you have to type in the person's name, or did you con them, and then you...
I think con, and then you could go through the tree menu to select them or duel them. Right.
Yep, exactly. They do that, and then you'd be fighting not who you thought you were fighting at first, and you were wagering 10,000 tunar or whatever it happened to be, a CV robe or whatever he could sneak out of you. I had heard a lot about that. I don't know if that was just an urban myth or what it ended up being. But
that's why Scott has an Everlong and an Everling.
Oh man, I never went that route, but that's a good idea. Yeah, that's a good idea. What was the name of your guild? I can't remember that.
I don't remember. I know there was Hodstock Heroes, but that wasn't us.
What was the name of your guild, Scott?
Mighty Clansmen of Light.
That's right.
MCOL.
Yep.
Mighty Clansmen of Light. And it wasn't until after playing EQOA that I really thought about how white supremacist that name could be.
It's like Sanguine.
No, that doesn't sound right either. I know they changed names at one point. I don't remember why. Because I just remember them talking about they had to disband the guild because something weird with how when it was put together and the person who put it together, like, they weren't playing anymore. So there's something weird about the ranking system. So they had to disband the guild and start over. But I don't remember the reasons, and I think it was Humble Heroes of Hodstock.
Oh, wow.
I think that was one of them.
That sounds familiar. Mara, if you're out there, call us. Remind us.
None of our numbers are the same as they were 10 years ago.
None of our numbers are the same, but here we are. We were on Hodstock, Evelyn, Everlong, Frail. And what was Kyle's name?
Oh, the Shadow Knight and the Shaman.
Adrenaline. I remember Adrenaline.
Yeah,
was
Adrenaline.
something.
Yeah. Oh, Zaffo.
That was
wow.
Was that on WoW or
that's
was
his, that's his WoW character's name.
That was something. Zaffo.
And he might have had it there too, but I don't think that was his Shadow Knight.
I want to say that was his shaman's. That was his shaman's name after he lost Emily's account. Didn't he have to re-roll that?
Could be. I think that sounds kind of familiar.
Yeah, because there was a whole thing where he was really angry there for a month or two because he didn't have his healer.
I wish I could remember his name.
No, it's taken away from you. I can't think of it.
I can't remember either.
Did you guys hear about the World War? The EQOA revival? I know there's the Renaissance page and the revival, but people are going through the contents of the disc and the memory card, save dates and save states.
Those are like
to rebuild it.
From what I think, the save states are like actual like server captures, or they have like captures of the packets and stuff like that. From what I understand, very limited knowledge of it from what I've seen of it. It sounds like you just stuff. That's how you had to kind of hack it before to play on a computer, which I would have known about.
But you can do that
at the time. Yeah, that's how they got these save states.
Oh wow, I didn't know they did
of the servers.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wonder how that. It just seems so far and above anything that I understand.
Yeah, I've seen the stuff and it's very interesting.
Yeah.
And I'd like to try and do it, but I don't. I have a PS2. I think I know where my memory card is. I mean, I don't know.
I do not have a PS2, and I do not know where my memory cards are.
I don't think I do either. All that got sold, or
I think
I know I still have my Frontiers disc though.
I know I have my disc. That's what my PS2 got lent out to somebody else in the family, and I never got it back.
That's foolish.
That's what happened because I still have the Frontiers disc, but my save state would have been on the memory card that went with the PS2 to whoever borrowed it.
Mm-hmm.
that's gone.
Yep.
And I think really they do have enough save states. I've read somewhere that they have enough U.S. save states on hand to recreate anything. They might need some European ones, but they really need people with some sort of coding experience. And I don't have any of that. The only thing that I could really contribute is a little Skrilla, a little Cashmon.
And they said they don't want any
Right.
Cashmon.
They do
Not
not
yet.
They don't want any, which I get that. It'd be nice if there was a slush fund somewhere that you could throw in $5 a month or something, and there was no pressure. But I think they thought about that stuff pretty thoroughly, and they're just not going to do that, which is fine, whatever. But besides money, I guess my skills are limited on what I can actually help them out with.
This,
Well, we could, yeah.
because they were looking for, because they have to rewrite all the quests and redo all of that stuff and memories of what quests were and what you did, and to try to rebuild all of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and hit points for mobs. I gotta figure that out.
I don't know if that was ever displayed.
Well,
I don't think there was numbers.
Well,
you gotta figure it out somehow. You got to calculate
I
it.
remember having them written down in a notebook somewhere. It's like
Really?
from really low level, like really really low level. But then that was all in the Bible, I feel.
Oh
So then I
yeah.
got the Bible and I was like, well, crap. I didn't need any of this.
Yeah, and they have plenty of those.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just support talking about it is the only thing I can provide.
In testing, I mean, that's the only other option. But that would be, you'd probably have to test on a PC then, since you don't have your PS2.
Correct.
Which it doesn't. I don't think it really matters.
No.
Just getting out there and helping, or providing support, just commenting on their page or responding to their inquiries.
Do you think this is a pipe dream they'll never develop? This is getting to some serious heartbreaking topics, but do you think this do you think it's feasible? Do you think they're going to do it?
It's feasible, yes. Is it going to be the same game that I remember? No. I highly doubt it. And yeah, I don't think it's going to be quite the same, because even if it is the same in my brain, I'm sure I've romanticized it
Precisely.
a lot
for sure.
since.
It's like when I go back and play Battletoads.
Oh man,
And then you realize how much the game is a pain in the ass because it's so freaking hard.
especially that level where you're on the cars going through the sewer.
No, that level's easy to me.
What? Wow.
It actually, that level was ranked one of the.
Yeah,
you're talking
one of the
level
hard-
3 with
Yep.
the little cars. You got to
Yep.
go back and forth. It's ranked as one of the
Yeah,
harder
it
levels,
is.
and that part's actually really easy.
Wow, you
The
heard
hardest-
it here, people.
The hardest part.
On the EQOA blog, Luke can handle that level no problem.
No, the hardest
Bring it on.
level in Battletoads is level 11.
I didn't know there were
Which
any.
is no problem.
Yeah, that's the one that Marcus can beat, but I can't beat it. Where you're on a bike and there's this ball that chases you through the level. I can't beat it.
Never played
Never.
that one.
I don't even know.
I know you beat it, and I was jealous. So
Well, I'll tell you this about romanticizing games. I remember quitting EQA for a while, and then running around doing whatever, and then starting up another EQOA account, and it just wasn't the same for me. It's that nostalgia thing where you think it's going to be great, and it might be for you, but for me in that case, it was there, and I guess maybe the diaspora was already, everyone had left.
Exactly.
A lot of people had left. The environment wasn't the same. And even if it was there, I was happy that it was there, even though I probably wouldn't even play.
Yep.
That's what it ended up being for me. And I'd like to think now that if it was available, I would just have it running on a spare TV somewhere, just to have it like that security blanket. But I just don't know I don't know what I'd really do with it.
I kind of like having just the romanticized memories of it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not to say that if it came out and this does actually happen that I won't play it, because I probably will, but I will almost guarantee you that it won't feel the same as it did 10 years ago.
And it's hard. It's a hard standard to hold it up to.
It is.
It's a handful of human beings hacking this thing back together.
Mm-hmm.
So it's.
If they do it, awesome. More power to them. It just it's tough.
I think the community will be strong enough to support it on whatever server fees they're going to have for it.
Mm-hmm.
But to have it for free, I think would be because what did an account subscription? What did that used to cost?
I never paid for one. Mine it was glitched for me. I never had to pay for it.
Wow,
Never
I
had
never
to pay
heard
for it.
this. Do you know that?
No.
You didn't have to pay for a
No.
month. How long? You played for years.
I played for 2 years.
Just think, you
Or
probably
whatever.
stole hundreds of dollars from
That's
Sony
why they went out of
online.
business.
Yeah.
It's all Luke's fault.
Wow.
I put in my credit card information
If
and
you-
it never charged my account. Never ever charged my
If
account.
someone from Sony Online Entertainment is out there,
Call in now.
Call in now. Give us a call, please
I will
do.
give
This
you
gentleman here owes you at least $200.
Think about that. That's a cheap game.
That's cheap.
Think about it. We're talking
For
about
years and years and years,
Yeah. I was mentioning. You had mentioned that smoker, that meat smoker.
Yep.
And it was about $200, whatever.
I don't know.
Yeah, you could play if we played EQOA. Maybe it was $10 a month.
I think it was $10 a month.
You figure roughly $200 for 2 years, $240, whatever. That's a pretty cheap price to pay for all those memories.
For 2 years. Well, yeah, we haven't even talked about memories and
No, we really haven't.
mobs and places where you would XP and
Right.
No, we've been kind of jumping all over the place, just getting the feel for it. But I got some ideas for some future segments. Well, different people, different areas, maybe embarrassing stories.
Got some embarrassing stories.
Got it for me, or for you, or for whom?
Just in general.
I got
Okay.
one really good one, and I'm sure that it's on your list.
It's probably on my list.
because that's hilarious.
Yep.
Who does it?
So,
Okay,
we
good.
got some good ones.
Luke's pointing at himself. It involves himself, and that's good. Whenever he's the focus of that, that's a good sign usually.
Yeah, that's a good one.
By the way, yeah, we're recording this on an old microphone we found in a box. If anyone's got a microphone, call in. Send us a microphone, please. We need something.
Yeah, this is a gooseneck from 1998. 1990 late, I think I picked this bad boy up.
Yeah, lab tech.
Yeah, I used it on my old compact Presario.
Oof,
Yeah.
that's an
Yeah.
old one. But that's part of the joy of just shoestring. It probably sounds terrible. I'm not even gonna edit this.
Why would you?
I don't think there's a reason. This is just gonna go up. We're gonna weigh in just a little bit under an hour. I don't know what YouTube's. You have to have certain policies, I guess, for an hour-long video on YouTube. It has to be almost like a podcast, I guess.
This is, I guess, qualifies as a podcast.
Right. So this is just a microphone hooked up to a laptop, and maybe we'll get a phone in here one day, and.
Oh, I can get that set up. I know how to do that. I remember that from my old prank calls. That's actually what we used to use this mic for.
Oh, that's
We
right.
used to do prank calls to like
Yeah.
Burger King and stuff.
Yep. Burger King,
And hotels.
the
And,
hotels, all.
And then you actually called somebody else's house and you
Yeah.
asked them away their toilet flush. That happened to me. It's supposed to be a hotel number and it wasn't. It was a house.
Oh, I don't remember.
That was embarrassing.
I don't remember that.
yeah, we had that all hooked up, so we can get that going again.
Yeah. So this is really just a test run, and hopefully we can do it again soon.
Hopefully we can get Mara and or JD Tool on the line.
Mara, JD,
Call in.
call in.
John Petrucci as well.
Ooh,
I don't know who that guy was, but I know Scott
Really
really
name.
enjoyed him.
Mark. Oh well, I'll tell you this. I don't know anything about JP.
I don't know anything about JP either.
I really don't know, but this is super interesting. That is a dude. JP, if you're out there, call in. JP. I never knew him. I never talked with him, but he was a personality.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even if you never heard him in Freeport, everybody knew JP in Hodstock. They were just some of those guys
Yep.
that were just. JP is definitely one. Pollux.
Yep.
Pollux. If you're out there, if you got a family of 4, call in. Please, we'd love to have you on the show. There are a few different characters like that. And sometimes it's meeting. Well, this is going to go into another direction, but meeting those people can be a big change from what characters are like in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So it's super interesting. JP, yeah. Well, you guys got anything else to say? What do you think?
Not about these topics. I got lots of other things.
Yeah, we got other things to say, but we'll save those.
Save those treats. We'll have updates. Think about this. We were just chatting here, and it's been an hour probably about. I think we started
around an hour.
51 minutes.
a little. Is it 51 minutes?
Yeah, there's a clock up on top of their timer.
Yeah, and down here.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. So that was 51 minutes. Did that feel like 51 minutes?
No.
That just zipped by.
Mm-hmm.
That's the joys of, when you're talking with something you enjoy or enjoying something in general.
Reminiscing.
Yeah.
Right,
Especially,
reminiscing.
Time
Yeah.
flies when you're having fun.
And for all the hours that we put into EQOA.
Well, that's just it. I feel like I'm getting something back for that. You can sit
This
here
is
and
true.
talk. Sometimes I hear people talking about high school like it was whatever. Those conversations. People talk about high school and this and that and the other, and maybe this is similar in a similar vein, but it's formative years.
And if it helps the community at all,
Yeah.
that's trying to revive it,
Right.
so be it. This is, that's an added benefit of it, besides just rethinking about what we used to do.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I understand that they know that there's a lot of people out there that really enjoyed EQOA and, enjoyed the game and appreciate what they're doing. And it's just nice to know, because we're a pretty small group of people. I mean, there was maybe eight people that we talked to regularly. And I don't know if any of Kyle or even Grant or Mara, talk to any people that are developing this, but know that there are other people that played the game, that really enjoyed the game, even if they weren't, as vocal back then.
Yeah, there were.
There's a lot of people.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people that support it, and I hope it does happen. And it would be really cool if it lived up to what I remember.
Right.
Yeah. Just if I could have that TV somewhere, just have a spare TV in
Preferably a CRT TV.
Oh, it's gotta be.
Gotta be a CRT TV.
We got one.
You gotta lug them around too.
Yes.
Houses.
So we got one.
Have a dolly in your car so you can move around. Yeah. If you guys have any suggestions, put them in the comments. If you have a microphone, call us. Call in.
If you have a CRT TV to donate.
Yeah.
Well, wait till
we'll
it
talk
comes
about
out.
it.
But still, just don't call us.
Yeah. No, but let us know what you think in the comments. Leave some suggestions. We'll get a bit of a script maybe next time. Have some fun conversation topics, people, places, things.
A better mic. The mic's killing me. I didn't know this was gonna be an hour long thing. The mic's killing me.
The mic's killing me. Meat's in IT.
Yep.
Marcus, we call him Meat. Sorry, I was a little late in the game to tell you this.
Yeah, name change.
Name change. Marcus is in IT. This is kind of his thing. So we're just rolling with the punches right now. But hopefully we can get something a little more
Professional.
Omnidirectional, I feel is the right word.
omnidirectional. We'll get that hooked up, and life is good. So I don't know. What do you guys? Any other thoughts? Everyone's shaking their
My
head.
head's empty at this point.
Okay. Well, everyone, it was great chatting with you. It's a lot of fun.
It was fun. I had a good time.
I haven't done this in a long time. So we'll get this out to you, and we'll figure out if we can do this again soon, hopefully. See what happens.
We do tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay, we'll see you then, man. See you tomorrow, right?
No.
Okay. All right. Good night. See you guys later.
Yeah. See ya.
See ya.